Hello there, dear Scorpio. This is your love reading for the month of September. The intention is you get the message you're meant to receive. So let's begin. Okay, let's see what we get. Very interesting combination here. So you yourself are going through quite some changes, or a period of much activity. They might be going through an experience which perhaps they're not particularly. It feels like perhaps they come from a more religious background or more moralistic background, and it means that they're judging something or themselves more than they otherwise would. But you're composite, well, together you have fun together, you have a lot of fun, and despite their more moral outlook, you are both together going with the flow. And there does seem to be love here, actually. I'll just pull one more. So interesting card there. Perhaps this connection it feels somehow light and relatively new, but maybe there is some more of a past life connection in this. So perhaps this person comes from more of a religious background than yourself. They're quite prim and proper. Perhaps they have certain conceptions on what they should be doing. You are in a period of definite upheaval, but it is very creative. There does seem to be something under the obvious between you two. Let's get a bit more insight into this. So it is a joyous, positive experience. It might be the case that in your life at the moment there is definite pressure or pressures ongoing, perhaps something relating to the past or your physical situation at the moment. perhaps in some sense you are moving from, you're becoming more yourself, who you truly are. With this other person, perhaps, well, perhaps they feel whole in a way. There might be some kind of ending they're going through potentially. I'm not 100% sure on that right now, but we'll find out more. Wow, again. So I say again because you've had 2 past life cards here. There's a definite pull between you two, so that's very clear. You have known each other before. And perhaps in a previous life, previous incarnation perhaps, or situation. And there's definite attraction. And there's a lot of joy in this, and celebration and relative ease in this situation, or in this relationship. I want to get more insight into what some of this more moralistic aspect can be. So they might be quite involved with business actually, and perhaps legalities, and perhaps it's less religious and more contractually moralistic somehow, or perhaps legally. They might be involved with law, they might be a lawyer. But why is that important in this message? Let's get some insight into that. Because they're quite strong, they're quite forceful, they have an energy of battle actually. And yeah. But that said, they also have a message of joy and grace, so they might be going through some kind of change into this, where they are becoming a bit easier and they're becoming a bit more graceful. And yeah, they're moving into this perhaps new energy. Wow, you're certainly in love with them. And I would add that you feel very generous towards them. There might be something of a delay in your physical condition. But you definitely have a lot of love for this person. and you do see a future with them, which you might feel is a bit delayed. But the message does seem as if that this will happen. So it is positive. But you still have to focus on yourself a bit as well. Don't lose yourself entirely. And yeah, let's get some more insight into that. Well, you're very generous, and let's get some more insight into that. You might be socially aware, or you might perhaps focus a little bit too much on other people, and perhaps you need to, not just the romantic interest, but other people in general. Perhaps a little bit you need to focus on yourself. So perhaps they're in some legal, or seemingly perhaps it's perhaps they're police, they work with the police or law enforcement, but they are coming into what could be described as kind of a new energy, or they're becoming open. They are open to you. Let's get some further insight. So regarding this connection, it is up to you what you make of this. The choice is yours. It may be necessary that you make some kind of compromise. I don't know what that compromise is right now. Or they might need, or another, that could be considered another legalistic card, actually. So it seems they're very much involved with law, actually. And perhaps there's something they need to temper, relax a bit, and relax. It does seem they are coming into a more relaxed situation. But regarding this connection, they are very attracted to you, but regarding this connection, the choice does feel very much yours. One thing I would add is, I do say you and them, but the energies can be mutable. Please relate to what synchronizes with you, or which messages you relate to. So perhaps something in a way is finishing for them, or they're on the threshold of finishing and becoming a bit easier. Perhaps it's some kind of legal case which might soon be finished. And yeah, for you, perhaps there's some line drawn in the sand, or some fixed perceptions on how you perceive yourself, which perhaps you need to move beyond a bit and not be as bound by, because perhaps it's hindering your forward movement. Actually, this will happen. I would say you don't need to worry too much about that. It seems very strong that this will happen. And you should remain positive. So, if there is some legal issues going on at the moment or whatnot, you should remain positive. And I think it's also good to remember that sometimes out of loss you can actually gain as well. So there might, I don't strongly get a loss will happen, but I do get that there are perhaps legal aspects happening at the moment in your life. But it's not negative, I'd say. It does seem there will be a positive outcome, and you will have balance, or this person will gain balance and security and freedom. There may have been accusations, and let's get some insight into that. There may have been false accusations. But it does feel as if you will win over them. You will come out stronger, and perhaps you both will heal. So, dear Scorpio, you have a strong past life connection with this person. You yourself are going through changes, perhaps in relation to your physical condition, but you do have abundance that you share. You are in love with this person. There is some kind of storm happening in your life or their life at the moment. You should remain positive. It is up to you. On their side, it does seem as if there is a lot of legalistic stuff going on at the moment. But it does feel as if there's some kind of threshold coming. You, like, together, you're great. You have a lot of fun. And naturally together you do flow really well with each other. This situation is positive. They are open to you. So, yeah. Let's get a bit more insight. So, if you have questions about whether you deserve good luck or love, or you do, You do deserve love, very much so. And you can have a lot of fun. Be open to some fun. They might be a little bit serious actually, but you can move beyond this. You have a connection that will come together. There might be some difficulty, but there is hope. Remain positive. You will have an opportunity. You deserve love, very much so. There is something spiritual about this situation as well, not just this connection, this situation in your life at the moment. And it will give you something, or it might be necessary for your journey. Some final insight. Right now, you do feel alone, and there might be some kind of legal or moral or something to do with violence in this situation, or legality or morality, but you do have a connection, and it's important to remain positive. One more card from the deck, which I have the most connection with since decades. There's a vast world out there for you both to enjoy. There's definite love in this situation. I can't guarantee that you will absolutely come together, but there is a whole world out there, and perhaps that means I think you can enjoy each other. I think, yeah, this is about sharing each other's energies and going out in the world and having fun. I think that's pretty important to who you both are, or not who you are, but to this connection. You're on a journey. There has been something destructive, but it's moving beyond that now. And I think regarding perhaps this legalistic moral situation, you will come into a natural ease and abundance. And perhaps you are feeling quite stressed at the moment. I definitely are. But there's a very strong connection here, and I wish you both the best. And I hope you've gained the message you're meant to hear from this reading. I don't force these readings down narrow lanes. The universe is vast. The message could have been anything. And I don't want to force it. I let it say what it shares. And I hope you've received a message which is useful for you. Thank you, dear Scorpio. I do see this more legal situation going in a more positive direction. Stay positive. You do have control. It is up to you. And yes, there's a big yes in this. You deserve love, perhaps despite the past. Or they deserve love despite their past, maybe. Thank you, dear Scorpio. I would really appreciate if you were to subscribe and like and comment. I have been doing tarot for more than 15 years, maybe closer to 18 years now, but this is the first time this is my first channel, and if you did choose to comment, you would be my first comment. But I think more importantly, I hope you gain something from this message. And if you do want to connect, you're more than welcome to subscribe, and my email address is shared in the description. Thank you, dear Scorpio. Bye-bye.